Hey, it's Mark Andrews with episode 10 of OCFOA Plays of the Week. All right, this week we've got plays from Orange County. These are not plays from Steve Coover. This is stuff that's been sent in to me by coaches. Let's get started. All right, here's a foul that we do not see called very often, and it's probably because we're a little too lenient on it, but this is a violation of Rule 923, which prohibits contact by a defensive player on an eligible receiver who's no longer a potential blocker. And so this type of contact, a lot of times it's let go because the receiver is a potential blocker. And so until he's not a potential blocker, until he's obviously a receiver, then this is not a foul. But I think you'll see quite clearly in this play that this receiver is no longer a potential blocker, and therefore defense cannot contact him. Let's take a look at the play. So you'll see that contact right there. The official actually waits until the quarterback passes the ball before he throws the flag. Watch his eyes. He sees this, and I think this is a great call. I mean, this is solid. I'm glad we have this kind of vision. So there's the contact right there, and that obviously the offensive player is not a potential blocker, so that is illegal. And you can see that the line judge, he's looking at that, so he sees it. He doesn't throw a flag immediately. Now he could have. There's no reason to wait. He does not have to. There's no requirement that the quarterback pass this ball for this to be a foul. I mean, he's obviously trying to pass the ball, but he waits, and then he continues to officiate. Great job, and throws the flag. Awesome. Moving on. All right, let's discuss scrimmage kicks and first touching and where we're going to spot the ball when we have first touching. This is a really complicated subject because so many different things can happen during a scrimmage kick. We could have R touching the ball, K touching the ball, R possessing the ball and then losing it, so on and so forth. So the rule tends to be very complicated. Before we get into it, I just want to point out that this is an illegal formation. You can see, I think both of those players are off the line. Doesn't really matter, even if it's just this guy. That's an illegal formation. That's an advantage. Stop this from happening. Throw a flag on this. All right. So the spots, the first touching is covered under Rule 6-2-5. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. Basically, what it says is that if R does not touch the ball, the scrimmage kick, beyond the neutral zone, then any spot of first touching by K, it could be a spot for the next possession by R. So if K touches the ball at the 10, and then they touch the ball at the 5, and then they bat it back, and it goes to the 15, and there's another touch or whatever, the receiving team has the option to take that ball at any of those spots of first touching. Make that clear. Or they can take the result of the play. And what if the result of the play is that K ends up recovering the scrimmage kick? Well, the ball's dead, the ball becomes dead, and the down is ended, and we come down here where it says when the kickers catch or recover a scrimmage kick beyond the neutral zone. There's more there, but I'm not going to confuse this. So that's what happens here. So let's take a look at this. So we got the ball's bouncing there, going towards the 10. The guy that sent me this makes the point the back judge should be deeper than the ball. That's very true. This is play 185 of this game. I'm guessing that these guys are tired. So, not excusing it, but yeah, back judges get beyond the ball and develop that good angle so you can see this action. Remember last week when we saw the touch by R and the back judge missed it? Okay, so we have a first touch by K right here. and K is legally batting the ball back towards their own goal line. This is one of the few times that you can legally bat the ball. Watch what he does. He knocks the ball back. Now K recovers it at about the 9. But our back judge looks like he is signaling that we're going to put the ball on the 5, and he's signaling first touching. So he's not giving R the option to take the ball, the result of the play. That's incorrect. And just to verify that, let's take a look at the next play. Yep, they're on the 5-yard line. That's a mistake, and that's a big mistake in this case, because you're putting them that much closer to their own goal, right? This has potential safety written all over it. All right, so let's just take a look at this play. Now, ask yourselves, what do we do when the ball is on the 5-yard or between the goal line and the 5-yard line for A going out? The answer is we use reverse goal line mechanics. This official and the line judge should be going immediately to the goal line at the snap. And this referee needs to be deeper. He should be on the end line so he gets a better view of this. But neither of those things are going to happen. You can see that the flanks don't move. Well, you can't see the line judge, but the head linesman definitely doesn't move. Yeah, flank officials should be using reverse goal line mechanics. So don't forget that. Remember, 5-yard to the goal line. If we're going in, we go to the goal line. If we're going out, we go to the goal line. All right, moving on. All right, this is kind of a cool happenstance here. Watch the player I have highlighted. I'm just going to let this run, see what you have. We're going to see 2 angles of this. Okay, you see that? Let's take a look at it from the end zone. So it's this player right here. All right, let's go back and run this in slow motion. Now watch the player, the offensive left tackle. He leads with his helmet. He strikes the defender in the chest with his helmet. And then, just to add insult to injury, flops on top of him. Okay, so that first action is a foul for spearing. Watch it again, right there. Could be targeting, actually. If it looks like there's maybe helmet contact. We, at the very least, have spearing. I would support a call for targeting, too. And then, after he stands over him, he does a belly flop on him. We're not going to let that happen, guys. If they go down together and they're laying on top of each other, that's fine. But this is unnecessary roughness. We should have 2 fouls in this play. Now, the very next play, he does the exact same thing. But this time, I'll argue that he does it legally. And you see him on the ground again. Let's look at it from the end zone. And you see the difference there, I hope. I'll run it in slow motion for you. Now this time he hits him, his helmet is outside the frame, and the contact's to the chest. This is a good block, and he falls on top of him, but there's no delay, right? Watch it again from this side. Run that for you in slow motion so you can see it. So there's the contact right there. He obviously overpowers the defender. That's, he didn't have to fall on top of him, but he does. Not a big deal. We just don't want, guys basically doing a flying suplex on top of somebody who's already down. So this play is legal. The previous one wasn't. Moving on. This next play is a play from the IMG Modern Day game that just occurred last week. This is, number 1 against number 3 in the country. Obviously a huge game. And I'm just going to run this in real time. You tell me what you see, or just think about what you see in this play, and then we're going to go back and break it down. This is a conversion attempt, a 2-point conversion attempt. All right, so let's start to break this play down. Now, obviously, this offense is working really fast, and that presents a problem for officials. You know, we've got to think fast, but we can't let this sort of thing, you know, overcome us. First thing I want you to notice is the left end here is going to false start. He's supposed to go in motion, but he quite obviously false starts. Right there. Okay, that is a false start. Yes, he subsequently goes, but watch it in real time. Right there, that hesitation, that's a false start. Now we have players not set before this player goes in motion. Watch it slowly. You can see that the wide receiver was still moving when this back goes in motion. This isn't the biggest sin in the world to miss that one. But watch what we have next. We have a false start by this receiver. And depending on how we judge this, these two players, if we judge them off the line, then we've got an illegal formation because we've got 5 off the line and only 6 on the line of scrimmage. If they're both on the line, then this receiver is covered up and he's ineligible. So there's the false start. I hope you saw that. Watch. There, right there. That's a false start. And so we get that player goes into the end zone and makes the catch. So we've either got illegal formation or we've got an ineligible receiver catching the ball. Instead, we got no flags and a 2-point conversion. All right, moving on. All right, I'm going to just let this play run and see if you see the foul here, because we are missing this foul. All right, the foul occurred. We run it back in slow motion for you. All right, your challenge is over. Let's talk about what we're seeing here. All right, watch these two players. Guard's going to pull, and the defensive back cuts him below the knees. That is a foul. Now, the thing I can't figure out is how we're missing this, because the flank official this is right at the point of attack. He's looking at this. So this player has the ball. Here's the action between these two. Right there, right where the ball, right at the point of attack, is the illegal block, and we should have the referee and the line judge should be getting this. Possibly the umpire should have it, but nobody gets this. Let's look at the next one. Okay, keep an eye on these two players. Very similar play here. See the pulling guard, cut. Again, this is point of attack. We've got the head linesman looking at it. I'm not sure what the referee's looking at. Can't tell by the bill of his hat. It looks like the umpire is looking at it. Are we seeing this and not recognizing it as a foul? Or are we just simply missing it? I don't know. Same team. Watch. So we got the pulling guard. Block below the waist, right at the point of attack. And we're not throwing flags on this. So either we're so used to seeing this type of block, you know, watching football on TV, that we don't recognize it as a foul, or we're just staring way too much at the ball carrier. Either way, we've got to get this one. It's a dangerous block, and it's completely illegal in high school. All right, moving on. All right, let's take a look at another block below the waist and talk about the legal or illegal aspects of it. I'm I'm just going to run the clip so you get a chance to see it. All right, I hope you saw that. Okay, before we discuss the aspects of this block, let's take a look at the rule regarding when a block below the waist is legal. Okay, so the rule book says that blocking below the waist is permitted in the free blocking zone when the following conditions are met. So the first thing is the block has to be in the free blocking zone, right? It's the only place we can block below the waist legally. Additionally, all players involved in the blocking are on the line of scrimmage and in the zone at the snap. So, remember, the zone goes 4 yards to either side of the ball, so about right, inside the tackles generally. All players involved in the blocking have to be on the line of scrimmage. So, even though this receiver over here is on the line of scrimmage, he can't block below the waist legally because he's not in the zone. A player, say one of these linebackers, moved up into that 3-yard area but is still behind the line of scrimmage, he can't be blocked below the waist because he's not on the line of scrimmage. So we have to have two things, line of scrimmage and in the zone. And lastly, the contact has to be in the zone. So just because the contact is because the players are on the line of scrimmage at the beginning and they're in the free blocking zone, the contact itself has to occur in the zone. And the last component is the ball has to be in the zone when the contact occurs. All right, so let's take a look at this play, and it's this running back here is going to be blocked by the defensive end. So the running back is not in the free blocking zone. So a block below the waist here would be illegal. So watch the contact. Now, there is one component here that might fool some people. Watch the initial contact. The defensive player is going low, but he contacts the offensive player initially with the offensive player's arms, and looks like his helmet's resting on his back. But the point of this is that the force of this block goes below the waist, so this is illegal. Now you might see a different type of block between linemen where the contact starts high and the initial contact is high, and then one of the players slides down or maybe even slips down, and the block continues below the waist. That is not illegal, all right? That block, but that's not the case here. So we're not going to give this guy a pass on this illegal block simply because the initial contact is above the waist. The force of the block is below the waist. This is a foul. Moving on. All right, I'm going to end on this play. This happened a week ago. This is late in the game. Look at play 204. The team in yellow is down by 5 at this point, and they're driving. I'm just going to let this run. We've actually got angles from both schools, so if there's a little hitch along the way, that's because I'm skipping one of the scenes. This is a better angle from the one school here. We're going to have a pass down the sideline. And notice the ball, it ends up in the grasp of the player in gray. Now I'm going to run this again. I want you to keep an eye on this player right here. Watch what happens here. Right there, he false starts, and we don't get it. All right, this action, I'm going to go to the end zone because you can't see the camera blurs right at the point the catch is made. So I'm going to watch the end zone here. And you can see, looks like there was a little bit of a bobble there. The ball comes out. All right, going to run this back in slow motion on the end zone. It's really the best view of this. Let's talk about what we could have done here. Now, ultimately, this was ruled a catch and down by contact by the yellow team. And that is obviously incorrect. Now, I hope you can see that bobble right there. The ball is juggling it right there. Get the tackle by the player in gray. And he has pulled the ball out right there. That ball is out. You'll see it as he comes down right there. It's in the crook of his arm. Hits the ground, bounces up. Okay. And then he recovers it. Now, and you also see that the official now is going to signal that we have a first down. What I would like to have seen here, a couple of things. First thing, the crew members can help him on this. The head linesman, if he got a read on this, could come in and give him what he had. I don't see the back judge in this shot at all coming in to assist. This flank official could have gotten out of all of this by simply ruling this an incomplete pass. That would have, I think that actually is the proper ruling. I don't think this guy actually really ever has possession, but you know, the flank is right here, so he's looking through this. Now the head linesman should be able to see this, and the back judge as well. Sees that bobble. It's ripped out. Incomplete pass would have been supported. Can't support a ruling of yellow, the yellow player being down. That ball is clearly out right there, and nobody is down. So the ruling that is a catch and runner down by contact cannot be supported here. So learn from this, guys. You know, like I said, the easiest way to rule on this is to rule an incomplete. And if you see your fellow crewmate in this kind of situation and you have knowledge that he might not have, get in there and talk. All right, moving on. Well, that's it for episode 10 of OCFOA Plays of the Week. I hope you're all enjoying these videos. If you have any questions or if you have any concerns about rules that are cited, mechanics, remember the mechanics that I talk about are Orange County Football Officials Association mechanics. The mechanics in your association may be different. Be sure to check with your instructional chairman if you have any questions about your association's mechanics in particular. If you have any questions, though, or if you think I got something wrong from a rule standpoint, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I try to reply to all the people that comment. If you'd like to subscribe to my video, click on my picture in the upper right hand corner. It'll take you to my homepage, and there's a big red subscribe button. Click on that, and you'll be subscribed to my channel, and you'll get all the updates, all the updated videos as soon as they're released. All right, this is Mark Andrews signing off.